Hello and welcome to the Apex Perspective. My name is Frank and I am joined by the movie buff himself, Leo from the Apex Pack Openings crew.
Yes, sir. What's going on, Frank? Thank you for having me on yet another show of the Apex Perspective. Excited to be here.
Yes, sir. It's going to be a good time. And today we're going to be talking about movies. One of our previous podcasts where we ranked comic book movies. I think that was a fun time that we had, just ranking and maybe bashing and giving some praise here and there. A little bit of everything. And so today we're going to be talking about what movies that we're looking forward to seeing this 2024 year. And we kind of made up a list here that we're going to go down and we're going to talk about the movies and why we're excited to see them.
Yeah, so just to preface, this is like our personal preference of like what we think we're actually going to go and see in theaters. So there's a movie that you're excited for that's not on this list.
We apologize.
We apologize, but this is just our personal list of what we're thinking about watching this year in theaters.
Yes, sir. And just to kind of preface this as well, too, at the time of recording, it's currently March, and we've already knocked out a couple of our movies from the list that we have today, just kind of like honorable mention. We're going to mention Argyle. Had a great time watching that. Madam Web. Tune in for our comic book rankings and where we're going to put that. Spoiler alert. Towards the bottom.
Not so hot.
Not so hot. And Dune Part 2, and that was a wild ride. That was a good time. So I think we might include that movie in our comic book rankings, but if not, we'll make a...
Well, it's not necessarily a comic book, but I mean, it's just one of the... It's a fantastic movie.
Yeah, it was. It was a great movie. Yeah. But, without further ado, we're just going to jump right into the movies that we're anticipating, that we're excited to go see in the movie. And, of course, starting off with it is Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, coming out on March 22nd. And, I'm excited to see this movie just for the nostalgia factor. I mean, from the trailers that I've seen, seeing the original Ghostbusters in there, and then merging in with the new cast as well too. So it's going to be a pretty good time. I'm excited for him. I do like Paul Rudd as an actor. I think he's very funny and charismatic, and he really delivers on all his roles. I really like the Man and Anchorman. All those other movies that he's done he's been a great actor.
Yeah, he's a very, very comedic actor. Yeah, I'm right there with you, Frank. I think it'll be a good time at the movies. Yeah. Whether it's like a phenomenal movie, I don't know if it'll really deliver on that. I think it's kind of leaning more into the nostalgia bait a little bit. But I think we'll still go see it and go have a good time. So yeah, I mean that's one of our favorite pastimes is watching movies. So just to put that out there, we love to go see movies in theaters. Have the theatrical experience. So
I think if you listen to some of our other episodes, you will know that we've been growing up on movies, and we've grown up on movies all our whole lives. And so we do love going to the theaters, and every now and then, if it's a big enough movie that we're dying to see, we will drive out of our way to go watch it in IMAX. Yes, if not, we'll stay here in town and watch it at our movie theater.
Dune Part 2. Yeah. Drove 2 hours to watch that spectacle in IMAX.
Yeah, and it was worth the drive, and it was worth everything.
Very, very rewarding experience, in my opinion.
Yeah, but anything else left for Ghostbusters? If not, I'm going to jump into the next one, because my next favorite movie that I'm anticipating and that I'm very excited to see is Godzilla and Kong, The New Empire, coming out on March 29th. In my notes, I just have Godzilla, enough said.
Yeah, I mean, Frank and I are brothers, for those of you that don't know, and growing up, one of Frank's favorite franchises of all time is Godzilla. I'm not as big a fan, but I still enjoy watching these movies, and I think Frank just bought a 15 movie collection on our Fandango at Home account, and it's pretty much every Godzilla movie ever made. I think is in there.
Not every single Godzilla movie. Well, just 15.
There's a lot. There's a lot of movies available in that collection.
There is. It's 15 movies. I think it spanned from 59 to 79, 1959 to 1979. So it's got some of the older movies, and it was a bundle that I wanted to buy, and I loved those movies as a kid, because who doesn't love monsters fighting other monsters and just having a good time?
Yeah, I just remember we would always rent the Godzilla movies from Hastings, Blockbuster, when it was still a thing, and we'd watch them at home. But yeah, I think for Godzilla and Kong, The New Empire, personally, I'm not as hyped to watch it. I think
I have all the hype for that movie.
I think they've done enough with these movies, and I don't know, just the last one, I wasn't as
a big fan. Yeah,
pleased with what came out of it. But I guess we'll see what they do. Some of the stuff just looks a little nonsensical to me, but I think that's just part of the movie going experience. It's going to be a good popcorn muncher regardless. It looks some pretty cool visuals in there. So,
and I heard from rumors that there's going to be like a 20-minute like Titan fight, and I'm excited for that. And I think I'm going to blame the Marvel Cinematic Universe for causing this because movies, they weren't really about building a universe for a while. It's just making a movie, be its own thing. And then that was it.
Yeah, I think that just comes with the business because Marvel popularized it, and then everyone just like jumped on board. Like, hey, we're gonna all make franchises that connect with each other.
I don't know if you remember, there was a movie, The Mummy Returns, or The Mummy with Tom Cruise. Yeah. They were building their own monsterverse with that as well too, but that wasn't successful.
Yeah, that fell flat on its face. Yeah, and I know they were trying really hard, and then The Mummy was not critically received well.
No,
so and so just like gave up on the whole deal.
And this thing with Godzilla and Kong, in the older movies and in the Japanese ones, they do meet up, and it was kind of really funny. With some of the things that they did together on those movies, and I still remember those movies vividly. But yeah, I mean, this universe that they've built here, I think it's called the Monsterverse, and I think so far they've done an okay job. Like with, you can watch all those movies and by themselves and it'll be okay. There might be things that you don't understand here and there, but
I think this one more than previous ones, I think connects a lot more to the previous Godzilla versus Kong movie that they made. Because I think there's a lot more connective tissue in terms of it's like more of a proper sequel. But yeah, you can definitely watch these movies and just watch them stand alone and, still have a good time watching them. So, and I think that comes down to just proper filmmaking. You got to make these movies to have anyone be able to watch it and still like understand what's going on. I think Marvel in more recent films kind of lost a little bit of that. In terms of like, anyone can go in without having to know anything, but it is what it is. It is what it is. I'll just leave it. I'll leave it at that. I don't need to go more into detail.
No, that's it. Yeah, and I mean, all these universes coming out here and there from different franchises. It's fun and all, but to me, it's like if it fits, it fits. If it doesn't, don't force it.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think it all really comes down to having the right creative team in place for you to nurture and create these franchises to be able to connect them into a larger world. So
agreed.
We have a big one coming soon with James Gunn and his whole DCU. So we'll see how that pans out. Tune in for a future episode. I'm sure we'll talk about what we're expecting in terms of the cinematic universe. But the next movie on our list is going to be Monkey Man, starring Dev Patel. This one looks super, super cool.
And just to preface this more too, Leo saw this trailer. I have yet to see anything for this movie, so I'm after our recording today, I'm gonna go watch this trailer for Monkey Man and see if I want to watch it too.
It looks like a really cool experience. It's like really like John Wick type of vibe from what I've seen from the trailers. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm hoping it's like a big action movie hit, and I mean I just love action movies, so. I'm a big fan of like Tom Cruise and his movies. So, I think I'm super excited for this one, and hopefully it turns out good.
Yeah, and I mean, we'll see what happens after I watch the trailer. And then the next movie coming out, we're kind of we're just going to be walking on through these movies, but this one on this date on 4/19, there are two movies coming out that I'm excited to see. One in theater and actually one on Netflix. So I'm gonna start off with the one on Netflix, and that's Rebel Moon Part 2, The Scargiver. I'm really excited to see the second part to the first part, because the first part was really awesome. I mean, I'm a sucker for Zack Snyder. He makes really good movies. I was really impressed with Sucker Punch, Justice League, Watchmen. That's my all-time favorite movie from him, and so I really like his style of movies that he makes. So I'm looking forward to Rebel Moon Part 2. Yeah. And the first part was awesome.
Yeah, and I think especially they announced that they're doing like a whole director's cut thing like coming out in the summer, I think, for like both Part 1 and Part 2. Oh, so it's going to be like 6 hours of just straight director's cut magic. So I'm pretty excited for that.
That's going to be awesome. I mean, if the director's cut for Justice League is going to be that good compared to what was released as a movie, Oh man, this the director's cut's gonna be even better.
Is there?
Yeah. Do you have any other thoughts, Leo, on the Rebel Moon Part 2? Because if not, we're gonna jump into the next movie.
Yeah, no, just real quick, the visuals look really, really cool for Part 2. I think the trailer just released at the time of recording a few days ago. So, yeah, I'm super, super hyped about it. So hopefully it's better than the first part.
Yeah, agreed. And then on that same day, on April 19th, the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare comes out as well, and that is a theatrical release. I believe it's starring Henry Cavill.
Yeah, there's a lot of great actors. Like for me, I think this is one that was more on my list than your list. But I'm really excited for this one. There's a lot of really great actors in there. So we've got Henry Cavill, Alan Ritchson, who just had a big show on Amazon with Jack Reacher.
Yep.
And then
he was also on Smallville as
we
Aquaman.
Can't forget that. Asa Gonzalez is in there, Henry Golding. But more than anything, it's Guy Ritchie. He directed The Gentleman. He directed The Man from U.N.C.L.E. Two of my one of my not like super favorite movies, but they were like really good movies that I really enjoyed. So I'm super excited for this one, and hopefully. Yeah. Hopefully, I really like his style of movies, especially The Gentleman. I was really blown away by that movie. Honestly, like it was just such a cool watch.
Chef's kiss on that movie. The Gentleman, Matthew McConaughey, the guy from Sons of Anarchy. I spaced on his name.
John.
Yes, and that movie was.
Yeah, so I'm excited for this. I think it'll be just as another really great experience in the theater. So
yeah. I completely agree with you, Leo. That's going to be a fun movie. A lot of these movies that we're going to see are pretty much, directors that we see pretty regularly too. So
yeah,
I can notice a trend right here. But without further ado, the next movie that we're anticipating to go watch, or that we're excited to go watch, is The Fall Guy on May 3rd, and this is starring Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt, I believe. And this is kind of like a movie about a movie.
Yeah, basically, like it's like a rom-com action stunt movie. Like I don't know, it just looks really like a really fun time, and I really like Ryan Gosling. One of my personal favorite movies of his is The Nice Guys with Russell Crowe. So I'm excited to have that charismatic charm of Ryan Gosling back on screen. So I think it's going to be a fun time at the movies.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. The trailers that we've seen when we go to see Dune 2.
Yeah, we saw it like 7 times.
Yeah. That trailer looks pretty good, and it looks pretty funny as well too. So I'm excited to see that one as well too. And then the next one that we're anticipating a week after, on May 10th, is Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, and it has a longer title, but I just wanted to keep it simple for you guys today. These movies it's a great universe right here. The Planet of the Apes. I mean, this is going like on movie number 5 or number 6 from the new iteration.
Yeah, they've made quite a few actually. But I think it's like 4 or 5 at least by now. Yeah. I lost track after so many, but I know. They did that whole trilogy. I think this is 4. I think technically this is number 4. But they did the whole trilogy with Caesar and everything that they did in that whole arc. Was really, really cool. And I think this one's set like way after like future generations of what happened in the previous movies. So super excited to see what happens in this one. And just the visuals look really great. They always really do great CGI work, like insane work. So I'm super hyped about that one. And the trailers look really good.
Yeah, they do. And I have the exact same sentiments. I'm excited to see what comes out of this movie. This franchise has always been doing a really good job. Even back then, for when they were first made, they probably changed the landscape of movies and creativity. And so, yeah, I'm excited to see what comes out of this one. And a week after that, I mean, we almost have we could probably lay out a calendar and say every single Friday we're going to go watch a movie.
Yeah.
But the next one that we're excited to go see is If, the imaginary movie directed by John Krasinski, starring quite a big A-lister list of actors on that movie. I believe Steve Carell's on there. Who else is on that movie? Do you happen to remember?
No, I can't recall off the top of my head. It looks like an interesting movie regardless. I mean, John Krasinski has done a really good job in his directorial, escapades. Yeah. With the Quiet Place movies, I think. And spoiler for another movie coming down the line. We've got another Quiet Place movie on here, but no, I think it's going to be really cool, and especially with John and Ryan Reynolds, it'll be a really cool movie. So I always really like Ryan Reynolds stuff.
Yeah, me too.
He's like, I know a lot of people like don't like him, but then there's the other half of the people that really like him. So like I think we fall in the category of we really like Ryan Reynolds and his type of humor. So
yeah, I think so too. And so after If. The week later, this is just May, guys. We're still in May. On May 24th, Furiosa, a Mad Max saga, easy for me to say, comes out. And this is more of a prequel to the Tom Hardy Mad Max movie. It looks very action-packed. I keep forgetting her name, but the star of Furiosa,
Anya Taylor-Joy.
Thank you. Thank you. That's why I have you on this podcast, Leo. You keep me in check and you remind me of names. And Chris Hemsworth is on the movie as well, too. So I'm excited to see this because the Mad Max movies, especially with Tom Hardy, have been really good. I really have enjoyed how crazy they are and how well they, get into that.
It's just such a unique style that I think only George Miller can really capture. Like that guy, one of the greatest filmmakers of our generation. He's done some really amazing work. I'm super excited to see what comes of this Furiosa like prequel to Mad Max. So yeah, it's going to be super fun. I'm super excited to see how crazy they can get in that movie. I remember way back when not the first one, but Fury Road, with Tom Hardy, Tom Hardy's Mad Max, when that released, I remember they like swept at the Oscars because that truly was such a amazing experience.
One thing I won't forget about that movie is that guy on the guitar playing heavy metal music and driving like at 60 miles per hour.
Fire coming out of the guitar.
Yeah. I will never forget that guy.
Yeah, so hopefully we get more of that. Hopefully we get more of that type of craziness with this new Furiosa movie. So
I feel like that guy is what encompasses Mad Max as a movie. If you had to show him like a little gif of an image, just show him like this is what Mad Max is, and that's that gif right there.
yeah, 100%. Yeah, so super excited for that one. I think it's gonna be another hit, just like the first one was.
I think so too. Yeah, Fury Road. Yeah. All right, and that kind of closes out our May month. So we have a busy day in May.
We got a busy week, busy weekends on May.
Yes, sir. And so we're gonna take a quick break and hear from our sponsors.
This episode is brought to you by the Apex Pack Openings channel on YouTube, where three friends open the latest sports cards including soccer, football, and basketball, as well as the latest and greatest trading card products which include Pokemon, One Piece, Star Wars, and so much more. Check out the channel now at youtube.com/Apex Pack Openings.
All right, welcome back to the Apex Perspective, and a huge thank you to our sponsors of today. Well, we left off and finishing off May. That's kind of been like half the year of movies that we're anticipating to see, and we still have half the list to go through. A
lot of great movies that we've covered already, and a lot more to go. So hopefully they turn out to be really good movies.
All right, next on our personal list for the month of June, on June 28th, A Quiet Place Day 1 releases. And so I'm excited to see this movie because A Quiet Place and A Quiet Place Part 2 were really good movies. I really enjoyed them. I like the story behind them. I like the concept. They were really good movies, and I'm thinking about doing a little marathon before that movie comes out to watch them once again just to kind of get a refresher. And then going to watching A Quiet Place Day 1 just to find out what happened on that on day one.
It'll be super interesting because the first two movies, A Quiet Place and Part 2, were both directed by John Krasinski. This one is directed by Michael Sarnowski. So it'll be a change in director, but I think John actually co-wrote the movie with him. So it'll be cool to see what how the universe changes stylistically, or how that'll work. If it'll lean more into like jump scare type of horror movie, or if it's like really anxious type of feel that you get from being quiet in the theater for so long. So I'm super excited to see how this turns out, and get to explore more of that world.
Yeah, that's going to be an exciting one to watch, and I'm anticipating the trailers, and I think I'm going to try and stay away a little bit from the trailers for this movie because I just want to be surprised or scared in the movie theater when we go watch that. And so that's kind of it for our month of June. Jumping into July, we both have just one movie at the time of recording, and we're excited to go see Deadpool and Wolverine. I mean, again, kind of every now and then, this is kind of how my show notes go. I just have Ryan and Hugh. That's enough said. I mean, Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman returning and reprising their roles as Deadpool and Wolverine. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be a good time. I'm excited to see how these guys or these characters are going to get finally merged into the MC universe.
Better go see Marvel Jesus.
Yeah, better go see Marvel Jesus
in the trailer. Yeah. But yeah, I'm super hyped about this one. Sean Levy's directing, and he worked with Ryan on Free Guy. I really enjoyed that movie. Such a cool concept and really fun game, or really fun movie.
I feel like the Free Guy is like the spoof version of Ready Player One.
Yeah, actually, yeah, kind of similar. Yeah. And then he actually worked with Hugh on Real Steel, which was another really great movie from way back in the day, with like 20
Robotic Rocky
or something like that. So I'm excited to see how this Deadpool 3 fits into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, because this is his first introduction into the MCU. So yeah, I'm super happy to see Deadpool become a part of that, and we'll see how they advance the story for the rest of the universe in this installment. So.
Maybe I saw a theory a while ago that Deadpool is going to be like the new cameo guy. Like in all the movies.
I could see it. That'd be pretty cool.
I think that'd be kind of funny.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool. But yeah, that's our for the month of July. That's kind of our movie to go watch for that month. Maybe there's other movies that we kind of missed. Yeah, it's going to be a quiet summer when it's usually a big summer for movies. Yeah. But then again, like we mentioned, we might have missed some movies.
But I think it kind of plays into Marvel's favor. I think there's some other like animated movies coming out. But hopefully that means the summer can be dominated by Marvel, and it'll make Deadpool 3 a really big hit. So I think it definitely has potential to maybe cross $1 billion. We haven't had a movie do that in a while, but I think with Wolverine especially and Hugh Jackman coming back, I think it'll put a lot of fans in seats. So we'll see how that plays out.
I think so. All right, that was the month of July. Jumping into the month of August, we have Kraven the Hunter. Again, this is a Sony movie, not tied.
So again, this is movies that we're planning to go see in theaters. So that doesn't mean like we're like super ecstatic about watching a Sony movie, because I mean,
if you've seen Madam Web, and understand why. And we just kind of
it kind of puts a wrench in the plans of us wanting to go watch this. So. I mean, we'll probably still watch it just to see if it's like as bad as their previous Sonyverse movies.
Yeah, because they've really been trying to build like we mentioned before in a previous podcast, earlier this podcast at the beginning. They're building like this villain verse in a sense, because they started with Morbius, then they were doing.
Well, they started with Venom.
With Venom,
the Venom verse, if you will, if you want to call it that. I think they have their own special name now, like Sony's Marvel Universe or something like that, or Sony's something like that. Sony's universe of Marvel characters, I think is what they call it.
So just kind of little spoilers ahead for other movies that have come out, and hopefully you guys have seen and don't mind us talking about them. But we got Venom, we got Venom 2, and then we had the cameo of the Vulture in Morbius. And then we have Madam Web.
And it's just like, what are they doing here? Like what's going on? And I think that's a really good example of like how much planning needs to go into building a universe. And I'm very grateful to have had Kevin Feige have so much control over Marvel Cinematic Universe over at Marvel Studios. Yeah. And I think having that creative lead of like having a centralized figure or a collective group of people calling the shots and guiding a universe. I think that's probably something Sony has lacked a little bit. So I think that's why we've gotten some pretty poor track record for their releases. So, who knows? Maybe Venom 3 is coming down the pipeline. We'll talk about that here in a bit, but hopefully that sticks the landing and maybe is a little bit better film for that trilogy of movies. But yeah, in terms of Kraven the Hunter, I mean, from the trailer that we've seen, it looks all right. I'm like, for me personally, it looks all right. I don't know if it's something I'm, going to say is like, oh, it's going to be a 10 out of 10. But I think it'll still be like a good popcorn muncher type of movie.
No, I agree, and I like. I think his name's Aaron Taylor Johnson, right? I like him as an actor. I really liked his Kick-Ass movies, 1 and 2. I liked him as Quicksilver in the Avengers: Age of Ultron, and a few other things.
He was in Bullet
done.
Train with Brad Pitt.
Oh, yeah, that was a great movie.
I really like that movie as well.
That one surprised me. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, no, he's a great actor, and I think like as the time of recording, actually, he's been like rumored to be the next 007.
I saw
the
that.
next James Bond.
Yeah,
but who knows if that actually ends up happening? But yeah, no, I think hopefully he shines in this role, but we'll see how good the writing and directing is in this.
Yeah,
so, time will tell.
And so for that's kind of like our month of August, but we don't have anything for the month of September on our list. But let us know what you guys are planning to see in the month of September. Maybe we might have missed a movie there, maybe an animated movie or something. But keep it on rolling. October, we have a couple movies on for this month, and one of them is Joker 2, and I am super excited for this movie, Leo.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be cool.
The first Joker movie with Joaquin Phoenix, what a movie that was. I can't believe it didn't win that many awards. But that movie was something else.
Well, at least we can consider it an Oscar-winning film. It won an Oscar.
Sir. Yes, sir. I wish it won more, but that movie was something else. What's the director's name again?
Todd Phillips.
Todd Phillips. Yeah. Jesus. If you can hear me stumbling, I can't say enough good things about the Joker movie, and I'm just excited to see what he does for Joker 2. And again, this is the first movie that I know of that Joaquin Phoenix is doing a sequel from, as far as I know. We were doing some IMDb research the other day, and I know he was in Brother Bear, and I know Brother Bear had a couple sequels, but he wasn't actually on those sequels. Yeah. And so if this is actually his true sequel, I'm excited to see what happens. I'm excited to see how the movie goes. I know from the first rumors that started coming out of the movie, it was supposed to be kind of like a musical.
Yeah, I mean the big revelation is Lady Gaga is a part of the movie as Harley Quinn. So we'll see, and from the rumors as well that it's going to be more of a musical type of movie. I guess we'll see how that plays out. I mean, it'll be a totally different shift from the first movie. So looking forward to see what they bring to the table. And, the first one was such a massive success. It crossed $1 billion at the box office. So, who's to know? Maybe it'll cross it again.
Did we go see this movie twice in theaters?
Which one, Joker?
Yeah.
I mean, it's been a long time. Probably.
Because there's movies every now and then where Leo and we will go see it twice in theaters just because of how good it was.
Cough, Dune 2, cough.
We still have yet to go see it again, so I think he's dropping subtle hints. But I think if we did go watch Joker twice in theaters, that was well worth my time.
Yeah, no, it was a great movie. And they really did a fantastic job with that, and hopefully this part 2 or Joker 2, the sequel, is just as good as the first.
Yeah, I agree. And like one thing that I've been talking to with some friends every now and then is that they need to make more of these type of movies like Joker, but more with like other Batman characters. Like I could see Mr. Freeze being a really good movie, Clayface even, and Poison Ivy. Like in that same like Joker vein, like those kinds of villains would make really awesome movies, maybe even like a Mad Hatter or some of the gallery of villains that Batman has.
No, I think that would be a really cool concept, but with James Gunn taking over DC and sort of having a plan for having one standalone universe without very many, Elseworld type of projects, I don't think that's going to be coming anytime soon. Unfortunately,
one can dream.
But yeah, I mean, if they ever decided to do it, and there's definitely so much potential there. Like especially like Poison Ivy with the whole climate change thing that's been going on for several years that people talk about. I think there's an opportunity there to tell a type of story that can bring that type of message to the screen. Yeah. And then there's other you could do like a heartbreaking Mr. Freeze movie with him and his wife and sort of tell that whole story
and how she got into the cryogenic freeze chamber.
Yeah, that whole build-up. There's so much potential there. There's so much potential there for a lot of those stories. Like they're really great stories that I think really deserve to be told on the big screen. But at the end of the day, big names sell, and Joker's extremely popular villain, and I think if you were to put like from just a business standpoint, this is a business person and me thinking like, if I market a Mad Hatter movie, like nobody knows who Mad Hatter is. Like who's gonna want to go see that? You can make the trailers as cool as you can, but at the end of the day, you got to make something marketable. Yeah. And I don't think some of these characters have the strength to do that. But I mean, the stories themselves.
So you're not saying that Calendar Man has a chance at a movie,
or Kite Man,
or Kite Man?
Yeah, no. I mean, that's what comics are for. It gives us the medium for creators to tell those type of stories that are fantastic stories. So yeah, that's why we grew up reading comic books and love comic books. So
yeah. And so we're excited to see Joker 2 coming out on October 4th of 2024. And then we have one more movie for October, and that is Venom 3, and I think it's called Venom: The Last Dance.
The Last Dance.
That releases on 10/25/24, so on October 25th. I don't know what to expect for this movie. I'm going to go see it regardless because I really like the first one. I think Venom 2 kind of stumbled a little bit.
Yeah, they went off the rails a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm really hoping they kind of close the deal or, bring it to a good closure.
Yes, agreed.
But yeah, I think Tom Hardy is really great as Venom. I think if you get a little better of an ensemble cast around him, he can really deliver some really great performances as Venom. So hopefully, this Venom 3 can do that for me, just in terms of what I want to see. And yeah, I think this is supposed to be his last movie as Venom. So I think that's why they're calling it The Last Dance. But we'll see if he ever pops up in future Marvel, media.
Because I think so from the rumors and some of the rumors I've seen is that this movie is supposed to tie into that MCU universe. Because since of that Easter egg we got at the end of Spider-Man No Way Home, I believe, where we see Tom Hardy's in Mexico of the MCU universe.
Yeah, there's definitely some potential there for them to, tie into these movies because at the end of the day, all the MCU Spider-Man movies are still made by Sony, so they're all Sony property movies. So really, they have the creative control or some good creative control there in terms of their own projects. So we'll see how they tie it in, if they tie it in.
Yeah.
But yeah, from what I've heard and what I think Tom Hardy has said in the past is like this is his last like planned standalone movie. But hopefully that means we can still see him.
Yeah, maybe he'll come into the MCU as Venom as well too. Still, we'll see what happens. So Venom 3, Venom: The Last Dance, October 25th, 2024. Mark your calendars. And then for us, we don't have anything in November. Again, we might have missed a couple of things. There's probably some animated movies that we're looking forward to. Just honorable mention, Transformers 1. I'm looking forward to seeing that animated movie. I don't know if it's coming out in theaters, but I'm for sure probably just an animated movie.
Yeah, I haven't seen too much news on that, so I guess as time goes on, we'll maybe do an update episode and see how things went. But
yeah, we'll see what happens. Yep. And so for the month of December, we have two movies that we're excited to go see, and that is The Karate Kid. So this is another revamp of the Karate Kid. So this is going to be the third iteration of revamping the movie. I do know that Jackie Chan and Ralph Macchio being the original Karate Kid.
It's kind of interesting to have both those guys come back for a new Karate Kid.
Because Jackie Chan was the Miyagi in the Jaden Smith Karate Kid version. So they're merging kind of both movies into one, I guess. But I'm just excited to see this movie. I grew up watching the Ralph Macchio ones, and then I saw the Jackie Chan one. I love Jackie Chan as an actor. He's a fantastic guy, really humble and amazing.
He's just done such insane like stunt work, and all his movies are really good.
Oh yeah.
So
I'm excited to see what this movie has in store for us. They always tend to leave a good message with the movies they make with these movies, but I'm just excited to go see this. It's kind of like our Ghostbusters, a couple other movies that we mentioned today. Is like a good popcorn muncher, good way to go kill some time at the movie theaters.
Yeah. And get our daily dose of nostalgia.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And the last movie that we're excited to go see is Sonic the Hedgehog #3. I have been a big fan of these Sonic the Hedgehog movies that they've done. The first one was fantastic. The second one was even better than the first one a little bit. And now I'm just excited to see what the third one brings. Jim Carrey as Mr. Egghead, or Dr. Egghead, does a fantastic job. I think he's done... He really delivers on those movies. Yeah. Just his goofiness shines really awesomely. I'm just excited to see what this third one does because they left us on a big spoiler with some potential big characters coming into this movie.
Yeah, man, it's going to be I'm super, super excited. I think this has the potential to be a really big hit, especially for like the younger audiences that really connect with Sonic the Hedgehog. Mm-hmm. I think the first two movies really did a good job of bringing that younger demographic in and getting parents to take their kids to the theaters. And yeah, I think Jim Carrey especially really was a bright spot for me in the second one. So I don't know too much about what the story is going to lead to in the third one, but I really hope we get to see more of Jim Carrey as Dr. Eggman.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, Leo. I mean, I'm not just bringing in the younger generation, but for those that played like the video games on
there's a whole generation there.
On all the Nintendo games of the Sonic ones, like all throughout the years, Sonic has been pretty prevalent. We never got into the Sonic games, but I do have some friends that love the Sonic games, and that's been like their childhood. And so,
yeah, like for me, my introduction to Sonic was like the Sonic X animated TV show.
Oh, that was a great
It was
show.
a really good TV show. So that was like my first introduction, and then I think I played a few of the games.
When we got the GameCube, we got the Sonic game. I don't remember what it's called. I think it was called Edge of Darkness, where we see Sonic and Shadow.
Yeah, yes. It was somewhere in there, something like that. But yeah, it was Sonic is a really great franchise, and it's been around for years. So super happy that we get to see these movies, and hopefully Sonic 3 is just as good or even better than the first two.
Yeah, I completely agree. Well, do you have any other things that you want to mention? Any other quick notes, Leo, from the movies that we mentioned here, or anything else that we might have slipped through the cracks?
No, I think this is a really good list of what we are expecting to, spend our money and watch in theaters. Again, if we missed anything, I mean, it's not anything for.
We didn't want to miss it.
We don't want to miss anything, but this is just like our personal list. So if we missed anything, it's just because this is our personal list. I know there's a few other bigger, high-profile movies that are coming out, but.
Yeah, and if you got any movie recommendations that we might have missed that are coming out this year, recommend it to us. We love to see what you guys are seeing, and we love to talk with you guys. So leave a comment, follow us on social media, check us out on all our platforms. Yeah, all the links are down below. Yeah. But without further ado, thank you guys so much for listening and for supporting the podcast. Don't forget to check us out on YouTube as the Apex Pack Openings crew, or at Apex Pack Openings, and check us out on there and keep, without further ado, thank you for subscribing. Thank you for following. Thank you for listening. And wherever you're at, make sure to smile, and we'll see you on the next one.